Hi folks, this is Vicki at patternprincess.com. Today I'm going to show you the second in a 6-part series, and it's all with these granny square blankets and the different various borders that I've put on them. This one happens to be in the blues and light blues. The actual blues I've used is, this is of course the lighter blue here is just called light blue. This next one here is called Deft, D-E-F-T, blue. Then this lighter gray that's here, this is a dusty gray, and then this is charcoal gray. This is all Red Heart yarn. This blanket here, I have 10 of these Deft blue and dark, the charcoal squares. There are 4 rounds of the granny square here in the blue, and then 2 rounds of the gray. That's the dark gray, charcoal gray here. And then in the light squares, it's 4 rounds of the light blue and then 2 rounds of the dusty gray. So I have 10 squares of each done. So each blanket, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds or 5 squares long, and then it's 4 squares wide. So this blanket here measures, let me see here, 31.5 inches wide. That's with the 4 squares, and then it's 39 inches long, and of course that's with the border on. I have used the invisible join here to join these squares. I do also have another video on how to do that. I think it makes a really nice and crisp join. It's very easy to do. It's just like sewing the blocks together. I just think it looks really nice. It's, you know, brings it in, it's just an easy way to do it. I haven't quite, to be honest, figured out how to do the join as you go thing. I tried that, but it just, my mind can't wrap my mind around how you get around the whole square without having to backtrack and everything else. Someday when I get that figured out, maybe I'll have to watch a few videos. I will show you how to do that someday maybe. So anyways, I have used an H size hook, and each square measures about 6 3/4 inches long, or you know, in square. Same on each side. And okay, it's 10 of each, 20 blocks long total. So I'm going to start here and get going with the first square I'm going to do, or I should say the square I'm going to do. This one here, it's a charcoal gray and the Deft blue. So I'm going to pretend that the square I'm going to work is the entire blanket, so that I'll show you how I've worked this border around it, okay? Now, if you are new to crochet, I'm going to start right from scratch on how I attach my color and how I get my loop on my yarn. If, of course, you've crocheted before, you can probably figure out I have the light blue, the, what did I say, charcoal gray? No, dusty gray, and then the Deft blue and the charcoal gray. I've just done a round of each of that around the entire thing. I just kind of like continue on with the granny square theme, and that's how I've done that. So for some of the experienced crocheters, you will understand that probably without me even showing you. But if you're somebody that hasn't crocheted much before, you might need more help here. So, okay, so this is how I get my slip knot on. I take my finger, just put this one through the loop. See that? Put that through the loop, bring it around, stick my thumb in, touch them together, put my hook in, and grab one of the yarns. There is probably an easier way to do it, but this is the way my grandmother taught me, so this is how I do it. And of course, you know that you have a slip knot on when you can see how you can pull that and adjust that. And I get a little bit the tension adjusted. Wrap the yarn around my little pinky, just bring it around my index finger, and we are ready to go if I'm going to crochet, all right? So the first thing I'm going to do is join my yarn. Any spot along here, except for a corner probably, I guess I could do it in a corner too. I'm just going to join my yarn because I'm going to be working, just as you did the entire granny square, you're going to be really working inside of that chain 1 space. So I put my hook there. This is how I change my yarn. Bring it through. And then I just grab everything and I'm just going to tighten it all up. And you have it tight. Now, when you actually come back and you crochet over this and you tuck in your yarn, you'll never even know that you had a knot there. But I like to do it that way only because if you're going to be washing these a lot, it's just one more security that it's not going to come out. And you really can't feel the knot anywhere that I can tell when you're working these. So, you're going to do a chain 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then yarn over. We're going to do like it's going to look like 3 double crochets when we're done. Okay, and then we're going to chain 1. And again, I am working with the light blue right now. So around the entire thing, I'm going to continue this pattern. Now remember, we're pretending that this is the entire blanket. So you're going to continue this pattern around the whole blanket, each square. So you're not necessarily going to be working around each square. You're going to be working around the whole blanket where the squares are all joined. So I'm just doing my 3 double crochets in each of the chain 1 space, and then I'm doing a chain 1. And of course you would have done that as you were making the granny square. And as I get into the corners, just as you join your granny squares here and you have your 2, you're going to do the 3 double crochet, and then you're going to chain 3, and then 3 double crochet. And then we do another 3 double crochet, and then we're going to just continue on. You're going to work this all the way around it. Whoopsies. I need a little bit more yarn. There we go. Now I got to pick up my yarn. All right, and then we got our chain 1. So we're going to continue on working around here. I'm going to do this, and then you can stop the video and then you can meet me, because then I'm going to join the yarn over here. So I'm going to continue on doing my 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, and then doing the corners all the way around until I get to the other side, and I'll meet you right there. Okay, I am just finishing up here. I've gone around the entire thing, and I have my 3 double crochet, a chain 1, and now I'm going to join to the top 3, the 3rd loop of this first chain 3, and I'm going to bring my yarn through and do a slip stitch. And of course, even though this is just for display purposes, I still like to leave a long tail on it, because I don't know, who knows what I'll end up doing with all these blocks yet I'm going to do samples on. So I bring that through, and then of course I have a long tail on this side too. I will end up weaving this through, and when I weave it, I'm going to go down and over and up and probably over this way, and all in the same color, down and up, and then through each of the 3 double crochets. I'll probably go back through there, up and over, and then back a little bit again before I consider it done. Just to get it weaved through a couple different ways. I'll probably take one, like this yarn I'd take this way, this yarn I would take this way. So that way it's a little bit less bulk and you can't really tell. So we have round 1 done already. This border, it consists of 4 rounds. So the next color here we're going to do is a dusty gray. So we're going to get this dusty gray next. Okay, I've already attached my dusty gray yarn, and I had my light blue. I started over here. So, and you can start remember, you can start anywhere. So I'm just going to start it on a different side, just because if you were working on your bigger Afghan here, I don't think it would matter so much. I'd probably just put it a couple of the clusters down, but just so that there's not too much bulk on any one side. So we got to go a chain 3 again. We're going to do the same pattern that we just did, continuing on with that granny square stitch. So chain 3, 2 double crochet, and then chain 1, and then 3 double crochet, 1, whoopsies, got to get through all the plies, 2, 3, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, and of course, then in the corner, you're going to do just like you did with the light blue, where you're going to go 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet. We're going to continue to work this all the way around, just as we did that light blue. This is like a really simple border. I thought that it really pulled it all together, though, really very nicely by using all the colors. Sometimes I've done a granny square and have just chosen one of the more I don't know, I should say one of the colors that would really seem to show it off more. And just, there was that one I did in like flamingo and white and tan and red, and I used the red to go around it, and that one really just seemed to make it pop. I almost did the white, but it's like, wow, the red really set it off nicely. So this one here, I've used all 4 colors, and when you get to this spot here, that's why I'm continuing on. I'm just going to show you. I haven't weaved this in yet. So, and remember, I was going to put one way, one the other. I'm going to actually crochet over this spot, and this, of course, it's not going to affect it anywhere, because I'm going to end up weaving in the yarn later. But then this way, I'm actually going over it, which is really good. It'll give a little bit more stability. So I'm going to continue on working this pattern of 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, with a 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet in each corner, and then I'm going to meet you right back here, and we're going to work on the 4th round of this blanket. Okay, we have the second round of our crochet edging all done. Now, if you take a look at this, I think that this is just really pretty all on its own. So I almost stopped here, but then you got to remember that you also have the lighter gray. So this was the darker gray. Say we'd be done here. But I've added on 2 more rows. I've added on the deft blue and then the charcoal color, the darker gray here. But so on here, see where you have the lighter blue and then you have the dusty gray. So if I just did these rows here, right, these first 2 rows, it would be a little bit too light. It wouldn't look quite right. So I couldn't stop because in the other end, because it's every other square, right, I have the colors. So on the rows where it would just be the this light blue and the dusty gray on the end, I just didn't think it would have enough color. So I thought, no, I think I really need to do the other 2 colors, because every other, like this one, every other one, right, every other row, you're going to have one of those light ones on the end. So I continued on, and of course I'm going to do that for you here now. I continued on with the deft blue, and then I added the charcoal gray. So I'm going to join my color of the deft blue, and of course it's the same pattern of your 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, and then remember in the corners it's a 3 double crochet, chain 3, and a 3 double crochet. I'm going to continue on, and I'm going to join the what did I say? Deft blue, and then the charcoal. And I'm going to show you how it looks on this one square here. Okay, I have added my deft blue to the corners around the edge here, and you can see how pretty it's really looking. And of course it would look nice just with this. And I wanted to make sure that you saw the different color stages in case you just wanted to do the 3 rows. But there is 1 more row to go, and that is the charcoal gray. I do have my yarn attached here, and of course, again, it's the same pattern. So this whole border is just 4 rounds around. So you got your chain 3, 2 double crochet in the middle. We're working in those chain 1 spaces, and then chain 1, and then your 3 double crochet. And I'm going to work this all the way around just like I did the deft blue. And then of course in the corners you're going to do your 3 double crochet, chain 3, and 3 double crochet, and you end with your slip stitch. I'm going to do that and have you see how this looks on this smaller square, which is, you know, we're pretending that we're working on the big blanket. I'll show you how this looks. Okay, through the magic of the camera here, it's magically done. So let's pretend that this was your whole blanket and you have done all 4 of your rows. It's the same as continuing on with your granny stitch, and we started with the light blue, the dusty gray, the deft blue, and the charcoal gray. So by using all 4 colors that are in, so I have the 2 squares, the dark blue and the charcoal, and then the light blue and the dusty gray, by using all 4 of those colors. And you can see, here's hopefully you can see this, with the 2 different squares and then the border and then the invisible join. It just really pulls it together really nicely. And I hope that this inspires you to make a granny square. They're just really magical, aren't they? Love working them, and but I really do hope that this inspires you to do some pretty and fun colors with your granny squares, and just continue on with the colors that you're using and making that your border. Just a fun project. It also doesn't, it's really nice though. You don't have a whole lot of ends to weave in then. You just have 1 for each color as you go around the whole thing, so that's not too bad. We can do that. Of course, I did make sure I weaved in my ends on the squares before I joined them, and of course before I added on the border, all of the ends were weaved on my other squares. So please make sure that you subscribe, and don't forget to like and share anything that you see here, and of course give me feedback. I'm always trying to improve my videos. I hope I'm getting better and better as it goes along. But please be inspired to make your own granny square and have a fun border on it. And I'll be doing my other videos as well, so I hope you check in on those, and have a wonderful day.